Because I've never spoken in so many people in one space. So forgive me if I seem a little nervous. You guys are a little intimidating. I did do my homework, and I was like, wait a second, these are scholars. These are hand-picked scholars, am I right? Yeah, a little intimidating for me. But no, thank you so much. It's truly an honor to be picked to be your opening speaker. I really appreciate it. First, I'd like everybody to stand up. I know, again, right? Okay, I just wanted to start out my speech by saying, God, that lady was so dry. Oh my gosh, she was a little boring. But HIPAA is really important. It is very important that you guys know the rules and regulations of HIPAA. So I'm going to start out my speech by talking a little bit about myself. And who wants to hear about themselves except for themselves? But So, first I'd like to speak about my inspiration for doing what I do. When I think about inspiration, I think about all the people that I could influence and all the people that have come into my life, but I also think about you guys. I think about the youth of America. I think about the youth of the world. And I say to myself, wow, this is what I do. Now, I know you're not children, but I'm inspired by the youth today. When I was a young man, I used to write all the time. I had a journal that I kept all my feelings and secrets in when I was a young guy. I didn't know how that would help me in the future, but it has. In 1999, at the tender age of 19, I went to the United States Air Force. And I still kept my journal. I loved my military life. I still kept my journal about things that are happening, like when I go out in the field and shoot my M16, which felt really good. But I wrote about other experiences too. After leaving the military honorably in 2003, I moved to Washington, D.C. And that's where I started working for a nonprofit called Us Helping Us People in Living Incorporated. Us Helping Us helps people in D.C. who are infected by the HIV virus. And it helps them by giving them resources like doctor referrals, case managers, medication, things like that, things that we all need to survive as being HIV positive. I found that I enjoyed this work. I found that I enjoyed it a lot because I like helping people. That is why I do what I do, because I just like helping people, and that's just the end all say all of it. But in 2005, I found out that I was HIV positive, and that was a blower. It was like, taking a hard blow to the chest. It was horrible. It was horrible. But I picked myself up. And then I befriended a doctor, and for all intents and purposes, I'm calling him Dr. Phil. Well, his actual name is Philip, so I call him Dr. Phil. But he inspired me and told me that everything was going to be okay. And that's what doctors do. That's what people in the medical profession do. And it really feels good mentally and physically to the patient. It helps them to overcome any kind of disease or sickness that they might be going through. But in 2008, my HIV virus progressed. And I found out that I had to go on medication. And that was hard. That was very, very hard. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I was scared. So then when I started taking these medications, I got things like diarrhea, and that's a killer. I went through stomach pain, chest pain, a lot of other things, a lot of other side effects, and it was horrible. And I even had jaundice. My eyes were yellow, so when I was in the club and everything, the black light would come on, they're like, oh, there's Justin. It was awful, and my skin, is naturally brown. But it kind of turned a little nice tint of yellow in there, and it was just not good. I didn't need to go out in the sun. But, after all these things happened to me, I called my friend Dr. Phil, and he said everything's going to be okay. And he came to the doctor's office with me, was there with me on a visit with my HIV doctor, went to medication specialist, and, with him there next to me, he's a doctor. That's who I trust. And we, of course, as patients, trust doctors and nurses, anybody in the medical field. because we're looking for help. After hearing this, I felt better physically, I felt better mentally, and I just started doing well. My body bounced back, and the medication was doing well with me. In the same year, I went to a search engine that's called, is it Google? And I went to try to find somebody who was living with HIV and seeing exactly what they were going through themselves to see if maybe I might have to go through the same thing. And I didn't really find anything, and it was disheartening. So then I started going on YouTube, and that was awesome. I was like, wow, these people are just making videos and just putting them up on YouTube, and that was amazing. So I said, well, how come I'm not doing this? Well, I can do this. I can contribute to the world. I can say, this is me, my name is Justin B. Terry Smith, I have HIV, and this is what I have to go through. And that helped a lot of people. I was open about my status, and by being open with myself and with other people, I helped other people that were HIV positive. I helped other people that were HIV negative to educate them on what we go through as HIV positive people. And it helped a lot of people. I was surprised. I kept getting, I guess you call them hits, or like viral videos. I was like, wow, I got 2,000 hits this week. Wow, that's amazing. But I didn't stop there. I said, okay, well, I can make these videos, but then I have to add writing to it as well, because not everybody can hear. So I decided, okay, I would write a blog. I would do a video blog, and each video would come out with an article, and I would explain exactly what was going on in the video, and it helped a lot more people. But I didn't stop there. I decided to come out with a book called I Have a Secret, and I said, wow, I don't feel like writing an adult book. God. Because I can't write that long. So, so I decided, okay, I can do a picture book, because that way at least the text will be this small and the pictures will be this big, so I can do that. So then I wrote I Have a Secret, and the first attempt, the first publication house that I sent my manuscript for, it was approved. I sent it with the committee, and I was like, wow, I know like billions of people or thousands of people that have submitted their work to these publication houses, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're not interested. And so it's really hard to get published. So for me to do that, I really felt really, really good. So I should doctor's visits on Justin's HIV journal to inform the public what might happen to somebody who's like me, who has HIV, because you never know. You just never know. And then Dr. Phil was very proud of me, and because of him, very soon, I will be pursuing a master's in public health. So he's both inspired me in my education, in my livelihood. And in 2009, Dr. Phil became Dr. Philip B. Terry Smith, my partner, my spouse, my husband, and my inspiration. Now, I'm going to embarrass him now, and I'm going to ask you to stand up. You can get me back later for that. But my advice to you is keep up the good work. I mean, you guys were handpicked. That says a lot. I was never handpicked, not even for dodgeball. I mean, I was like, wow, these are handpicked scholars. Scary. But whether you're a nurse or a doctor or a CDC worker, a medical profession, it doesn't matter. There's going to be always people that need you. Anyone needs you. Everyone needs you, excuse me. Like, who doesn't get sick? Please point out somebody who doesn't get sick. Whether it's the flu or whether it's HIV or the common cold. It doesn't matter. We're always going to need you. Always. You are the people who care about everyone else's needs. And that's what we need now in the world. And, I would like to have you guys give yourselves a round of applause, because it takes a lot to do it. Stick to it, because you will be challenged. I mean, you have a long way to go, but stick in there. It really means a lot to us. What's new and exciting about the field of medicine? Well, it's kind of cool right now because, you know, certain discoveries are happening every single day, and you never know where you're going to get a huge medical discovery. You just never know. I mean, is there any of you that play games online? Come on, raise your hands. Who plays games online? Of course not when you're in school, learning. But seriously, like there's an online game called, I think it's called Fold It, and I've never heard of it until I read this article. It's actually like Tetris on steroids. Like, I don't know if Tetris is too old for you guys. I don't know. No, you guys know about Tetris? Now I feel good. Now I don't feel so old. Thank you. But yeah, this Fold It game is basically what you do is you try to find out, like, between proteins and enzymes, and actually they made a breakthrough in HIV. I was so surprised. It's one of those puzzles with proteins that causes AIDS that they were trying to find in monkeys, and it took scientists 15 years. They were still baffled in 15 years. These gamers found it out in 3 weeks. Gamers. I was like, really? Wow. Like, I can never get a high score on anything. But also I've gotten older, and, you know, there were these interesting things that popped up, like, you know, have you guys heard of Facebook? How many of you are on Facebook? Friend me. But also, you know, there's YouTube and there's Twitter. Yeah, thank you. But in that lost, forgotten social network, MySpace. I'm so excited that you guys know what I'm talking about. But you know, those social networking sites, they actually can do some good. I mean, that's what I do. Whenever I do a video for Justin's HIV Journal, I shoot it out, and I just have to hit one button, and it goes out like 5 different, you know, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and yes, even MySpace. I still have an account there, but don't find me there because I'll never respond back. But you know, it's how you can reach people. I mean, I would just document every single thing that is going on with you, like when it, you know, not everything, because I don't want to know everything, all your business. But you know, I've been a part of because of this social networking. I get called to speak at certain things like Keynote Speaking, and like being a part of HIV campaigns. And actually, people actually pay me for my opinion. And if I was a doctor, people pay you for your opinions just because you say so? That's pretty impressive. But you know, I think that one of my most favorite things that I've already done is that I actually have any of you heard of the Logo Network? Yes. I actually was on the Logo Network talking with, I don't know, you guys probably haven't heard of RuPaul's Drag Race. Wow. Well, I got interviewed by Angina Ryan, who, oh, you know who she is. Yeah, and that was pretty impressive. I've never been on TV before. Well, I have, but never like talking about me, which I was like, wow, they want to know about me. What shouldn't I tell them? But it was really fascinating. I really enjoyed myself. That was my favorite moment in doing what I do, being an HIV activist. I really, really liked it. I implore you to take action and take advantage of these networking sites, because you're the generation that can use them to be leaders in the medicine field, the medical field. You can use them to your advantage, and people will listen to you. People will listen to you. You're young, you're strong, and it can only get better. But I started my education right after high school, as I'm sure most of you know. I started my college education, excuse me. And I didn't do so well my first semester. Actually, didn't do well at all. I kind of flunked out. Yeah, that was pretty bad. You know, imagine the phone call to your dad and say, "Hey Dad, I flunked out." and then him coming up to give me 2 hours in the car by himself, and then 2 hours in the car with him to go back home, packing up all my stuff. It wasn't really a good experience for me, those 2 hours, not good at all. Especially not good when I had to stay home for a while. But then I got back into it, and I didn't give up. And I decided, okay, you know what, I really gotta get back in school. So I went to Montgomery College, because I was born and raised in, do you guys know what MoCo is? There you go, MoCo represented, thank you. All right. But I went to the military in 1999 and did 4 years in the military. 2003, I said, I'm done. I'm getting out of here because they're trying to send me to Iraq, and I ain't going. That's not going to be kosher for me, not at all. So I had my major was education when I went to Frostburg, and you know, I said, okay, I really want to educate people, but then I said, okay, I also want to be a teacher because they get off on summers, which is really, really cool. But then I said, oh, well, sometimes some teachers have to work during the summer, and I don't want to do that. And wait, I have my summer break and everything. I don't want to mess that up. Are you kidding me? So then I changed my major again to psychology. Still in the medical field, sort of, psychiatry. And so I said, okay, well, to be really effective in my eyes, I'd have to get a PhD, and I don't want to go to school for that long. That's like crazy talk. So then I changed my major again. And then I said, okay. All right, so I took a few more classes and got all my prerequisites out the way, finally, and figured, yay, I'll be a political science major. Boring. So now I work for the federal government, which a lot of us poli-sci majors do. And it's the most boring job I've ever had in my whole entire life, I swear to God. And I work for the IRS, no less. So, yeah, imagine that at a party. Here, where do you work? IRS? Okay. Yeah, I'm not giving you my ID anytime soon. So I went and got my political science degree, and I'm putting it to good use at the federal government. But then I said, okay, I am not happy. I am not happy at all, because I don't feel like I'm helping anybody. I'm actually taking money from people. It doesn't feel good. Well, it just probably doesn't feel good because it's not going directly into my pocket then. But, you know, I decided to change my major. I decided to go to get my master's degree. And I'll be starting my master's program next year, and it's going to be in public health. Yes, that's what I plan on doing my master's degree in, because, you know, I look at you guys and I'm like, you know, I really wish that I had started at your ages. I really wish that I had stuck in there. I really wish that I had learned a lot more than I did when I was in high school and had a stint at Frostburg. But I didn't. And I didn't stick in there. And that's what I want to say to you guys. Stick in there. Because, you know, we need you. I mean, I'm HIV positive. I need to go to my doctor's appointments every 3 months. Nobody wants to go to the doctor every 3 months. I have to get blood drawn. I have to, you know, do all these things and, you know, exercise better. And I have to go see a medication specialist. But where do they all work? Thank you. Who said that? Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so why not? Why not? Because I just don't need you. The whole world needs you. And thank you for doing all you guys do.